The first thing is that Sanskritam in its own land is a foreign language, has become a foreign language.
Exactly, right.
Most Indians, they learn Sanskrit, whether within India or outside India, as a foreign language. So language of this land has become foreign to itself. So that's the sad part.
True.
We could have saved it a lot, even if we had concentrated a little or had even little respect for our own mother tongue. That also we forgot. So we are so much obsessed with English, and we have forgotten our own mother tongue, forget about Sanskrit. Our mother tongue itself could have linked us nicely with Sanskrit, because every regional language has 60-70% vocabularies. 60 to 70% vocabularies, pure Sanskrit words.
Right.
Because we're not familiar with our own mother tongue. So my suggestion will be, before you to jump into Sanskrit directly,
right,
which is fine. Through Sanskrit, you can approach your own language. But since much of your own language you know already, so try to inculcate in the children the mother tongue, love for the mother tongue. Speak in your own language at home. Do not expose your children till they are 3.5, 4 years, when they go to the school, where it is necessary to be with others for learning English. So I'll tell you, like in the ashram, Sri Aurobindo ashram in Pondicherry, so they have the school. So they were surprised when my child went to the LKG at the 3.5 years. We didn't send to other schools or anything. So she didn't know a single English word. So much of the parents who have, trained their children in speaking very fine English, so she was feeling disappointed amongst them. And I said, don't worry. So let them speak English, but you stick. And in the school, the first two languages they teach is Sanskrit and French. Okay. English is introduced to them when they're 6.5. So for the first 3 years, they don't give English, because Sanskrit and French both are very scientific language. Okay. So at the age of 6, they're introduced to English, little bit of English, and then they continue. So focus on your own mother. Every Indian, I request, I plead with folded hands, do not give English to your children. Do not think in English. If you are planning your own child, okay, all those who have given birth is fine. Then many things which cannot be, undone. But all those who are planning, for them also, like it's my request that you speak during pregnancy, you read much of your own books, because Sanskrit immediately you cannot understand. Yes, you can listen to some songs, some mantras, some shlokas, some subhashitas, fine. But read beautiful stories, beautiful biographies in your own language and see the impact. Because the grammar is already, settled in the consciousness. So if you take this consciousness approach and then contemplate on the regional language, your own mother tongue, and the child will be very easily picking up Sanskrit when he grows up. Because the linguistic ability, it grows very strongly when everything is imparted through mother tongue. If you start English education, what kind of problems you are going to face? First thing is, you are dissociating the child from the beauty and the richness of this land, the language of this land, the languages of this land. Okay. So if someone knows his mother tongue well, he can well connect itself, everything that belongs to this land, everything that belongs to this land. So the culture, the customs, the civilizational aspect, our cultural heritage, and all the languages, all the other languages. So that's the greatest advantage. And this is what right from, though I'm very deep into Sanskrit, but right from the beginning, when I started promoting Sanskrit, I never intended to promote Sanskrit in isolation. I myself could have created one application just for Sanskrit, which many people are creating. Why did, like we choose language curry? Because it not only teaches you Sanskrit in isolation, we're taking all the classical languages of India, and then you can see the link. You can learn Sanskrit through any other, you can learn any language through other language. If you're familiar with Kannada, you can learn Sanskrit through Kannada. That facility also we are creating. So then your love for languages, it grows, right? Then you do not, say that, okay, my language is really great, other languages, others languages are very poor. So that kind of, what do you call, hina bhavana, the meanness, it doesn't come. Every language has its own uniqueness. Every language has its own beauty, its richness, its rhythm. So we need to understand that. Okay. And then when you come to Sanskrit, it has greater advantages. Yes, there are certain things which even, say for example, like you take all the great people, they were first master of their own language. Rabindranath Tagore, you take. He was a master of his own language. Sanskrit comes later. Even they don't need to learn Sanskrit formally. It will just come. I know, like one of my friends, he's so grounded in Odia language that he creates slokas in Sanskrit, extempore. He has not studied Sanskrit formally. But because of his good grounding in Odia literature, he can, like he has little poetic ability. So he creates slokas in Sanskrit. It's better than even many Sanskrit people. So that will be the first step towards, your true parenting. Encourage the children to learn their own language. Speak with them with their own language. They can pick up English later. Take my example. My English is not good. I'm just speaking, but my English is not good because I never learned English. I completed my higher degrees, I completed my PhD, but I never learned English. I never spoke English. I spoke English at the age of 25 when I went to Pondicherry, because there it was needed for me to speak in English because many people do not understand. Even I didn't know much of Hindi. I studied through Odia medium. I studied through Sanskrit medium. But within 1 year, I picked up English because of my grounding in Sanskrit. The vocabulary, the structure, and everything. So it took some time just to speak, become familiar with the words. So even now also, I don't speak very fine English, but I can express myself. I can read, understand, express myself. So I'm writing books in English. I'm giving talks in English that they can learn it later. Like you don't feel like, giving Hindi lessons to your own children at the present. They look at the television, they look at they yeah. Uh, was there a little glitch? Okay.
Yeah, very small.
The same way, they can learn English on their own. Don't worry about it. Don't give it right from the beginning. So by giving English, you are dissociating them from all the bounties, all the beautiful things that we have on this land. Second thing, English being okay, it is international language, it's global language, it is needed to interact with the rest of the world, and it's practical, it helps survival. All these things are fine. So for that, we need to learn. We don't say that you should not learn English, but you should not use English to kill yourself. Now, this has become a killer language. English has become a killer language. So much so that in many cases, we are 100% gulam of this language, 100%. There are many day-to-day words. Just observe your language. Day-to-day words, you can't manage in your own language or any Indian language. 100% you have to see. How look at table, chair, freeze, light, switch, motorcycle. Oh, then, like every part of a motorcycle you take, every part of your car you take, every part of any, like your iron box or mixie, anything you take, it's 100% English. You can't do anything. Go out, like when I go outside, I become really disappointed. Where is the Indian language? Every signboard, everyone wants to put a signboard in front of the door in English. You can write it in your language. Many people will understand and see, understand. But there is a tendency, and we can bring this change, and especially the women can bring the change. The change has to come from home. Create a new generation completely, which will forget about all these things. Bring this practice at home. So because of this mindset that English gives us prestige, we have lost prestige. We have truly lost prestige. We have become very lowly in our own eyes. At a later stage, we say that, oh, I should have studied my own mother tongue. I should have studied a little bit of Sanskrit. But I don't want, there are many people now say that what I am suffering, I don't want my children to suffer that. Why do you feel that? Because this opportunity was not there. And we could have achieved it very easily. We could have achieved it very easily. There's nothing, wrong in it. But very consciously, many Indian parents, they don't want to give Indian languages to them, their children. English, English, English. You have to find English. Look at how beautifully my children sing the rhyming songs, nursery rhyme song. Any guest comes, they have to present the nursery rhyme songs because they have invented it, and you feel proud of it. Rain, rain, go away. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. All these have meaningless. Inky, winky, twinky, father had a donkey. So all meaningless things we give, and we cut them off completely from our cultural heritage, our tradition, our practices. The very soul of India is missing in our children. How we have to reawaken that. We have to reawaken that. So Sanskrit is fine, but approach Sanskrit through your own language. That is what will be my proposition. Okay. Now coming to what question Anisha asked, like mainstream, the whole world is, filled in with that. You cannot go on changing every signboard of shops, vehicles, everything, but you have to start it at home. See, we say that, okay, in my school, there is the school in which my child is studying, they don't have Sanskrit. Not necessary. They will not have many things. They don't have judo, karate. They don't have swimming. They don't have music. They don't have dance. You do give your children in a dance school. You do give your children in a judo, karate, institute. You do teach them, like coding, which is not taught in the school. There are many things which are not taught in the school. Parents do give their children in outside organizations, find out a teacher, find out where Sanskrit is being taught. You can start it at home. It is not necessary. It is not even wise to expect that school should give everything. The real education begins at home. The schools are just excuses. Okay. So ultimately, you see that all those who become great, hardly they give credit to their school. They will give the credit to their parents, their own relatives, their own friends, because they are the true contributors in that. There may be rarely some teachers who are inspiring. So schools are in competition that we will create this facility, that facility, infrastructure. Infrastructure was fine. The school gives only infrastructure, but not the soul structure, the suprastructure. It doesn't give. So that comes by educating the children right from the beginning. So that's why, like the education should never begin from the school. The education must begin right from the day of conception. Education of a child must begin right from the moment of conception. Whatever a mother gives during that 9-10 months period to the child is the best gift. Later, whatever you give, they are all superficial. So it is a twofold education. It is a twofold education. The mother, whatever you want to see in your child, develop those qualities within yourselves. You want your child to be rooted in Indianness. If you are pregnant, read many stories, many books on India. The true stories of the hero warriors. Read the stories of many saints, rishis, many great people. Invoke the souls of the great. There are many great souls which are waiting to manifest on this earth to do good, but they are not finding the adhara where they should manifest. So one has to carry that aspiration, that invocation. The children must be the result of intense prayer and aspiration, not the result of mere conjugal enjoyment. That's why 100% children, you can say, are accidental. Kab hua pata nahi. It just happened. But our culture and tradition is very different. We have attached rituals for this. The man and woman coming together, it's not just for conjugal enjoyment. There is a greater purpose to be solved. So our tradition makes us aware that what is the real purpose of life? What is the real purpose of bringing a child to the earth? Know that and organize your life's activities around that aspiration. Create a self-discipline for this. Then you see the child who will be the result of that. When that aspiration is there, when that, feeling is there, that intensity and sincerity is there in the aspiration and prayer, a little Krishna will be born to Devaki in the jail. Where you are, it doesn't matter. Your aspiration, your prayer matters. A Vishwanath Anand will take birth. You know the story of Vishwanath Anand. He is not a chess player by getting training from anything. He is a born chess player. If you know the story of Vishwanath Anand's birth, so when his mother was carrying him, his mother used to play chess with his own child. She will put the chess, play it on behalf of her and on behalf of the child. Is born the greatest tabla player. Alaraka Khan, his father, when he was in his mother's womb, so he played the tabla on the, on the belly. Okay, when the child is listening, very gently, he played all the bowls on a regular basis on his wife's belly when she was carrying. That's how Zakir Hussain is born. Ashtavakra, Dhruva, Prahlad. These are not imagination, fanciful imagination of anyone. Anyone can do it. You want your child to look like a particular person, have a particular color, you can do it with the power of concentration. Bring it to your visualization. You can do it. You can physically shape it. And where lies the role of Sanskrit, Sanskrit, if you are familiar with the true spirit of Sanskrit, the Sanskrit will help creating this awareness in you. A mother will know, like today you say, like, I am a mother, I'm a father. What does it mean? What does the word mother mean? Mother is not just who gives birth to a child and takes care of. This word mother in English can never explain you who is a true mother, what is true motherhood. But if you are familiar with Indian languages, or especially Sanskrit, see the greater awareness that it brings to your understanding, the clarity that it brings to your understanding. In Sanskrit, there are plenty of words. The famous word is, anyone? Mata. Mata. You know what does mata mean? Mata comes from a root sound, ma. Ma means to measure. Measure what? So a mother is called mata because she measures the immeasurable. She gives a finite shape to the infinite. That's the power of a mother. She is the creatrix. She challenges the God. Look, you created the whole world as a creator. Now I am also going to create. She is equal with the creator. She is the creatrix and gives a finite shape to the infinite. That's the true motherhood. That is the kind of sincerity and aspiration one has to carry when one is planning to give birth to a child. That it is not, because the animals also produce children, rabbits, dogs, cats, elephants, tigers. What difference it makes that a human being gives birth? This is where one can make a difference, that this is the bhava that one carries, that it's not I'm not just giving birth to a physical body, but I'm shaping, invoking the soul to manifest through it. And then never be possessive of the children, because the children are not yours, not mine. We're just caretaker. Have this sense of care, just a caretaker. They belong to the divine. Like trustees, take care of them. Don't impose anything on the children. Any imposition is a violence. Don't make your children violent. Give them a free space. But before you give the free space, freedom to the children, you must realize what freedom means. You must experience what freedom is. And you can never experience freedom as long as you are speaking English, I'll tell you. Because it's a language of slave, not freedom, not mastery. It is so limited language. It always limits you, binds you, never gives you freedom. You can use only one word, water. You have no choice. If you forget any time that word, you'll never get water from anyone. Sanskrit has 200 words for water. 200 words. You are free to choose from a given list, or you can create your own word. You are allowed to create your own word and add it. If you want to experience what true freedom is, learn Sanskrit in a good way, the way we are teaching at Language Curry. I'm not just propagating Language Curry, but we have seen how Sanskrit is being taught so badly. And anyone who has come and then learned the language through Language Curry application or through the live classes, you see, this is the insight that we bring. We explain each and every word. Why hand is called hasta? Why man is called nara? A woman is called nari. Why body is called deha? It creates a very different awareness. It explains you the science of everything. You don't need to learn science separately. We never had snippet learning uh, way. We had a holistic learning approach. There was no fragmented learning. That I am a physician, I am an astrologer, I am a poet. A poet is supposed to be, if you look at look at Kalidas, Aryabhatta, Panini, Patanjali, the great rishis. You can't say Kalidas was a poet, not a scientist. You can't say that. The enormous amount of scientific ideas that you get in Kalidas. You say, oh my God, Kalidas was a scientist, but he was a great sensible poet at the same time. So this is where, but in my college, when I wanted to learn mathematics along with Sanskrit, I was not allowed. Because you are an art student and then he's a science student, he's a commerce student. You can't choose certain subjects. That situation must change. Of course, the new education policy is bringing such kind of things after so many years. But just remember, so many things we can learn which are common sense. We don't need to go to classroom and then get engaged with a teacher to learn those things which are common sense. Many things we learn from the nature, but we have dissociated ourselves from the nature. We have no connection with the nature. Ask the children, where is rice? Where do we get rice? The supermarket. They don't know, they have never seen rice growing in the field. Sitting in an AC room, going through by AC car, classroom is AC, come back home, no sun, no moon, no rain, no cold, no heat, nothing of that you experience in the world. What life? And then at a later stage, we lament, oh, what I did, what a horrible life I'm living. But who is responsible? Parents are responsible. I myself am responsible. The society is responsible collectively. But we can bring that change. And Sanskrit becomes a very, very powerful tool in bringing this change. Because it contains within itself such richness that the moment you come in contact with this language, you start feeling pure, sacred. Something it does to your consciousness, something it does to your emotions, something it does to your body at the physical level, at the emotional, sensational level, at the mental, psychological level. You feel different because it's a different vibration operating from a very different level of consciousness. And it is bound to affect if you are open to it. Now we see a political leader, Rajaneta, you can say. When he speaks, his words, charge, people get charged with his words, get enraged with his words. That's how the activists work. The way the words are spoken, the language is used, it changes the mindset of people. But these people are meant to create violence in the society. The same way, when you come to Sanskrit, it immediately brings calmness to you. It makes you silent. That's why many people, because there's so much of violence in our consciousness that we are even afraid of approaching silence. We have become so, violence has become so natural to us. We feel scared of silence. Where one should feel scared of violence, chaos, people are feeling scared of silence. Oh, क्या हो जाएगा? फिर संसार छोड़ दूंगा, हिमालय चला जाऊंगा. So it's better to be in chaos. At least I talk to people, I share my thoughts, I'm in the society. This is a silence conscious language. Immediately brings you from the state of chaos, brings you in a state of silence. And just imagine when the children are speaking it right from the beginning or exposed to this language. What amazing thing it will do to their consciousness when they are in growing phase. But the language has to be given in the right way, not just, rote learn some shlokas, some sutras, Amarakosh, Ashtadhyayi, some rules. Never do that. Give Sanskrit like a natural language. Let them speak, use the language the way they use their own mother tongue. But before that, you should have that clarity. We are going to create a program through language career where only the pregnant women will be sitting and learning. We'll expose them to beautiful stories in Sanskrit, beautiful words in Sanskrit, beautiful phrases, all in Sanskrit. And then when they give birth to their children, let them judge how different their children are. My whole vision is to create a new generation with Sanskrit. We don't need to defend narratives. We will create our own narratives. We'll create our own narrative. We don't need to defend. Today, much energy, much time, much money is spent defending narratives. Sad. Where is the originality? Where is our original narrative? We can do that. We need that sankalpa, that will. Yes, we will do. And every woman has tremendous capacity to bring this change. And ultimately, it is the women of this land who will bring the change. The feminine power is the greatest power. No one can stand before the feminine power, the true feminine power. I'm not talking about the power that feminists of the present time talk. Rubbish. The true divine Matra Shakti, Nari Shakti. Divinity and spirituality is very, very natural to the feminine principle. And Sanskrit teaches that. How? I'll give you one example. Catch hold of any beautiful quality that everyone would like to manifest within oneself. By manifesting it, people have become great. That word will be a feminine word. Bhakti, Shraddha, Dhriti, Kshama, Daya, Karuna. Sanskrit very consciously stores that feminine energy in the word itself. You will not have masculine words for this. But when it comes to heroism, strength, it uses masculine words. Both we need. The women need to manifest the masculine principles and qualities within themselves, and the man needs to manifest the feminine principles and the qualities within themselves. When this reconciliation of man and woman happens, because every man carries a woman in him, every woman carries a man in her. That is why we have this beautiful concept of Ardhanarishwara. We don't need to talk about equality, inequality. It's all rubbish. A man is a woman and a woman is a man. We don't need to talk about it. We need to spread this narrative of ours. And they are the real facts. And our rituals, our customs, our traditions, they have preserved this. Like when marriage takes place, a man puts sindoor, the vermilion, on the head of the woman. In what form? In this manner. Why? You can say, oh, that's a ritual. We don't know why. And a woman puts tilak with chandan on the man's head in this manner. Why? And today so much of talk about kanyadan, this should not happen, that should not happen. But if you look at the way the whole vivaha, this whole idea of vivaha, it happens, such deeper philosophy is translated into the certain rituals. I don't say that you should become ritualistic, but these ideas you should carry and respect. Man's outer personality is fiery. Woman's outer personality is cool. Surya and Chandra. Agni and Soma. Our ancient people, they didn't use fiery, cool. Cool is such a great word. You say, oh, you look so cool today. But in ancient time, a teacher called the student, hey, Soumya. Soumya is Soma, Chandra, cool. Soumya is far better than cool. It carries a very different vibration in it. Whoever looked cool was called as Soumya. This is our tradition. This is our culture. Now, man's outer personality is fiery. Woman's outer personality is cool. Surya Chandra, Agni Soma. Go to Ayurveda, go to medical science, ask your doctors. And it's a matter of common sense also. The substance of man is cool. The substance of woman is fiery. You understand? So that is why I say that a man carries a woman within him and a woman carries a man. If you concentrate on the principles, and these principles are very much active in the nature. In the nature, you see a tree bears fruits and flowers. Is it possible without the feminine and masculine coming together? So for bearing fruit, you don't bring two trees together. This is a feminine tree and this is a masculine tree. You don't say that. The nature has reconciled these principles, this union, this yoga. This is Prakriti's yoga. But man has to consciously develop this yoga within himself. So what happens in the vivaha? Man makes a promise to the woman that I come in your life as a partner, as a sahadharmi, sahakarmi, sahadharmi, ardhangi. I'm using the masculine words. Man says, I come in your life as a ardhangi, as a sahadharmi, sahakarmi. For what? To raise your Agni Tattva. Sindur represents the Agni. To raise your Agni Tattva and reconcile with the Soma Tattva. The same way woman makes a promise to the man that I come in your life as Ardhangini, Sahadharmini, Sahakarmini, to raise your Soma Tattva to unite with the Agni Tattva. Then one becomes complete. That is why they say that without marriage you are incomplete. And after marriage you are finished. Complete. Finished in the sense complete. Okay. You can take the other sense also. Okay, so look at the whole vision behind this ritual. Without putting sindoor and tilak, you can still make the promise silently. You don't need to become a ritualistic, but you must do that. You must understand that, respect that. Instead of saying that, oh, all these are all false, stupid, fanciful imaginations. And a yogi, he doesn't have to marry, he doesn't have to have a physical being beside him. He can raise this tattva, feminine tattva, and unite it through the yogic process and experience that ananda of union. It's a very different level of ananda, not ananda resulting from our impulses and instincts and the lower vital needs. That's why he's a yogi. And truly, every grihastha needs to become a yogi. Every woman needs to become a yogini. Our life's purpose is that. Otherwise, entire life, we live in that divided consciousness. We live a life of binaries, dvandvas, dualities, keep fighting. And they say that, okay, too much inequality. But who carries that inequality? When every individual is divided within oneself, your mind says something, your emotion says something, your body says something, your speech is different. Where are you searching the equality? Look within, you will find that you are the most unequal person, creating much disharmony within yourself. And everything that you create within yourself, it starts impacting the outer. So all these, like talks, all these things, what happens in the name of inequality, equality, these are baseless, superficial, just to create further problem. Do not listen to all those people. And that you can confidently do when you are grounded in your own culture, in your own language. Because this language teaches that. It teaches us to be in union, in harmony. It teaches us how to make life beautiful, not ugly. It teaches us how to remain in that state of silence, not in state of chaos. And Sanskrit, not just the thought content, I'm telling you as a language, it is designed in such a manner. It is created in such a manner. Each and every word is conscious of its own history and can explain you why it stands for a particular idea, why it stands for a particular object. Will create a different awareness in you. It takes you to the source of, if you have a doubt, the words used in Sanskrit for doubt can lead you, can explain you why do you have doubt. It will take you to the source. And once you know the source, you can work on yourself to become free from doubt, confusion, ignorance, illusions, false promptings. So that's why it's a language of truth. It teaches you how to remain true to yourself. Makes you aware of your true nature. So we teach Sanskrit with this yogic approach. This approach has to change. The usual way of learning Sanskrit must change. Because the true significance of each and every word and every structure of the language, once you know, like you will just fall in love with this language. You'll say that, my God, I will not learn any language, or I will learn any language, but I'll have deepest regard for this language. And it's truly like that. You will find your highest love in this language. A language which doesn't say whom you love is the object of your love. When you say, I love you, and just imagine how many times a day you repeat this word. You should not repeat this word, I love you, because it's an objective sentence. Means you, when you say to someone, I love you, you make that person the object of your love and treat him like or her like an object. This is English language. In Sanskrit, it's not objective. In Sanskrit, it is not objective. It is locative. Sanskrit says, if you have to translate I love you in Sanskrit, it will be aham tvai snihyami. Tvai means in you. So it says, I find the love in you. Literally, this is the translation. Love is universal. You find the love in you. That's where the poet writes, Tujhme Rab dikhta hai. That's the exact translation of I love you. But in English, it's just object. And a language which just is objective can shape your consciousness in that manner. You start treating everything, even the conscious beings, as objects, and become obsessive about it, persuasive, possessive about it. Because that's what you do with objects. But here it doesn't create it. You forget about the object. It is not the object which is important. It is the love which is important. And you can find the love in someone when you find the love in yourself. That's why it says, Atma Deepo Bhava, Atmanam Vidhi. Know yourself, love yourself, be the light of yourself. So then you can find yourself in others. That's our culture. And to give expression to this vision of life, a beautiful language which has been given to us as a gift is the Deva Bhasha Sanskrit. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad, sir. Always so beautiful. And whenever you speak, there's another renewed, motivation to learn, to help our children learn and really spread the beauty of Sanskrit. Thank you, sir. Anybody has any questions, we can quickly, have interaction with sir. You can type it on your chat or just speak it out loud.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really absolutely. I'm actually speechless. बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. एक बात जो आपने कही है, एक्चुअली दिल और दिमाग में जाके बैठी है और बहुत सारे प्रश्न उठ रहे हैं, बहुत सारी एनालिसिस खुद ही हो रही है. एक जो आप बात कर रहे हैं उसका एक क्वेश्चन भी उठ रहा है, आंसर भी आ रहा है मन में. तो जो आपने बात की सबसे पहले कि मातृभाषा से ही शुरुआत की जाए, उसी पे फोकस किया जाए. ऑफ कोर्स हिंदी हमने बचपन से सीखी है, बट ऑफ कोर्स स्कूलिंग इंग्लिश में हुई है, कॉन्वेंट की एक्सेट्रा. तो ये जो एक चीज है कि जो भी चीज हम सोचते हैं वो इंग्लिश में ही सोचा जाता है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. अभी भी मैं हिंदी मुझे बहुत फ्लुएंटली आती है, पर अब बीच में इंग्लिश यूज कर रही हूँ, दिमाग में हिंदी बोलने के लिए भी इंग्लिश से ट्रांसलेट करके हिंदी में मैं सेंटेंसेस बना रही हूँ। तो ये जो वायरिंग हुई है, रीवायरिंग की शुरुआत कैसे की जाए, अगर आप इस पे थोड़ा सा आप थोड़ा लाइट डाल सके, ये बच्चों के भी काम आएगा, अडल्ट्स के भी काम आएगा, थोड़ा इस पे आप अगर समझा सके हमें तो प्लीज।
हाँ, इसी रीवायरिंग के लिए बस वी हैव टू like again come back to our own tradition and then start learning and consciously using our own language. ठीक है, अंग्रेजी में आता है, but I'll make effort to translate it, and believe me, within few months change effort. Yeah, when we put this little conscious effort, थोड़ी सी सजगता और थोड़ा सा प्रयास, and it will make a big difference. बहुत कुछ हम हासिल कर सकते हैं.
Right.
But we need to learn, buy more Hindi books.
Yes.
Use more Hindi words.
Right.
तो संस्कृत अपने आप आ जाएगा, because संस्कृत is living through every Indian language.
Right.
So it does its work very silently. We just need to expose ourselves, open ourselves a little bit to it.
Right, sir. Very, very beautiful, sir. Thank you so much. Really, immense gratitude. Thank you so much.
Okay, if there are no other questions, then we can take leave of each other. So have a beautiful year, Shubha Navavarsham, and then bring more Sanskrit and more Bharatiyata into your life. We all will do collectively, definitely. So anytime, any question, you can always come back.
How do we get in touch with you if in future you have any questions?
Sorry?
How do we get in touch with you in future if we have any questions?
Yeah, you can, I'll give my WhatsApp number here. Yeah. So it's just only when you have real question or urgency.
I've also listed sir's email address in case anybody has any questions.
Yeah, here the email ID is there. Or language curry also you can send, or Gmail also you can send. Both are linked, so no problem. ठीक है, धन्यवाद.
Dhanyawad, sir. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining on a Monday evening.
Thank you so much, Language Curry and sir. This was really a very enriching and invigorating session. And I'm sure all of us are going back, with a million takeaways and thoughts to work on. Thank you so much, truly. Very grateful. Thank you.